Barely had a dab all day. I fucking fell asleep on the couch when I got home. I had a couple of beers after work because it was one of the boys' birthdays.
Right on.
It's good. Big week so far. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, man, it's been pretty crazy. I've as much as I've missed our little chats, it kind of gave me a little break to catch up on a bunch of shit, man.
Yeah, exactly right. It was a bit the same, hey?
Yeah. Yep, I was wigging out there for a little while, like, holy fuck, how am I supposed to do all of this shit? And
That's all right. Like, it's chill. That's what I was like. I was like, fuck it, don't worry. Life comes first.
yeah, right.
This can wait. People don't know what real time is. If we run a week behind on everything, man, and have like week and a half breaks, none of that shit matters, eh?
No, not really. So anything new and exciting?
Not particularly. I was like, this week has literally been like old school, man. I've been like tattooing some hell funny shit. Like, I did a big script gut banger today, and yesterday I was tattooing dogs in stars and dog food to go with it. And
oh no shit!
Oh man, it was hilarious.
No scary bio, huh?
No, not much this week. It was tattooing old clients and just giving them what they want.
Right. Sometimes you got to do that. Sometimes you got to bend your will.
Yeah, man, it was actually fun. I hadn't tattooed big script across guts in a long time, and drawing that shit up was awesome fun.
Fucking gangster shit.
It's only when it comes to tattooing that I'm not like, if I had a big fat brush pen tattoo tip that just did it for me, I'd be so happy.
Right? If there was something to where you just had like a nice fucking calligraphy style tattoo needle, man.
Bag drag's probably the closest we got, but it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah, but you get all those little lines. Oh, fucking ripper.
Little one. I got some killer stuff this week from the Cron Master. I said I'd give him a little shout out on here. I was
I've been following him.
Yeah, he's like, nah,
following him.
So I got some. What do we got? We got Godbud, and this little here. This is this cool little thing Benny got me from Fiji. Little mix bowl. It's for the, what do they use it for? The carver. And what's the other stuff I'm smoking? It's either green potion or no, I think that's the Chanel. So cheers for that, brother. It's good shit. So
right on.
What are you been smoking?
Oh yeah, you know what? I ran out of shit probably like 3 days ago, so my customer's bringing me something today.
Yeah, nice. That dry out.
Well, it makes you feel like you've never smoked before.
I know, it's amazing. I was talking about it with my client today. That's what I was saying. The guy that I had today is old New Zealand bloke. He's, I don't know, what is he? He's 50, and he's just like an old punk rocker. So that's what I tattooed on his guts today. It was just like rock and roll under his belly button.
Oh.
And he's like a hell old smoker from way back, man. I'll tattoo anything he wants on him just to hang with him, man. He's fucking hilarious. He's got some stories. He's punched Jello Biafra in the face.
No shit.
I know, right? I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, New Zealand. He's like, he came and started chatting all these political shit to everyone. And it's like, back in the day, like, New Zealand wasn't a political punk scene. And he like came off stage and he, I don't know, I can't remember how it went down, but he punched him in the face. I was like, that's a pretty good claim to fame. Yeah, interesting character. So I'll try to get Gordon on the show one day. I was like, when I was setting up, I was like, maybe I should just film this. But we'll get some cameras set up in the room soon, I think. Those in-house tattoo talk can be hilarious sometimes.
You got to give a little love to the clients too. It'd be good to bring some of the interesting clients in and have them chat for a little bit and just their experience of collecting tattoos.
Exactly.
They got good stories, man.
I mean, this guy's been getting tattooed and like, in tattoo shops since what would be like early 80s. I think he came to Australia when he was like 15. He showed me a photo of like old, massive mohawk and big old punk jackets, like studs and leather and all that kind of stuff. And all his tattoo stories pre getting tattooed by me are all, getting drunk in tattoo shops on Friday, Saturday nights when everyone's shutting down and done. And yeah, he's got some good ones. None of them sober. That's just how people did it back then, huh? And now I'm fixing half of them and covering them and joining them, and it's interesting. He's a time map. And that's why he loves these tattoos. He remembers every single event and time and person he was with getting them all. As shit as some of them are, he still loves them.
Mm-hmm. So I saw that post you put up on the Tattooed Mind, tattooer or tattoo artist or whatever the fuck it is.
Tattooer or tattooist. It's just because I've been writing that thing and tagging and like everything I've been putting on all the YouTube and SoundCloud. I got to put tags for everything, so I'm like typing them all in. And yeah, I thought that was a pretty interesting one. I heard tattooer more when I was in the States, and I think like early in my career I heard tattooist more. So I just thought it was a little interesting one.
Yeah, well, I wrote an article for the magazine here about that because there was like this big separation in the community of, you know, if you're a tattooer, you do old school and you're traditional. If you're a tattooist, you do more like artistically driven tattoos. I was like, no, we're fucking tattoo artists.
To me, it's the same shit. And my question was literally, which one do you call it?
Yeah, exactly.
I assume that Tim Devaria's comment on there was aimed at what you're talking about. He was like gay cunt. I'm like, coming out, are we? Funny. So, yeah, I don't know. Tattoo. I'd never heard that much, and it kind of almost sound wrong, like grammatically to me when I first heard it. Tattooer just didn't sound right. And then I'd heard tattoo artist a lot. So to me, the abbreviated tattooist was what I ran with for a long time. But it was literally just to describe someone that does tattoos. I don't really see much of a separation.
Yeah, me neither. You know, mover, shaker, tattoo maker. You know,
exactly.
Fuck it. It doesn't matter. I poke people for a fucking living.
Exactly right. But I hope that stirs some shit on there then. If there's like already been some discussion about which, you know, what term is supposed to be used.
I mean, you know, my whole thing was like, I just tried to squash it. I was like, look, man, I was like, we don't have like any health insurance or, you know, maybe a union. Maybe we should not try to fucking separate this shit and just take care of each other instead of arguing on what the fuck we're doing.
Yeah. What are we called? Who gives a fuck?
Are we pirates or what were the other ones? Profiteers? No, it doesn't fucking matter.
Pirates profit. They profited pretty well, I think. They didn't have to give anyone tax on their shit. They did what they wanted.
Oh, that fucking beanie's dope. Oh, I'm getting one of those.
Oh yeah, we got the Oculus beanie.
Mm-hmm.
I got a whole heap of merch. I'm getting ready to get printed this week. Been sitting there on the iPad doing all the single line illustrations. It's quite hard when you're trying to do bio shit.
Yeah. I mean, it looks cool, man. I think they're gonna make cool t-shirts.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm pretty lazy, man. I draw thousands of things and then never go get them printed. So I'll get my ass in a gear and do these ones. Keep an eye out.
I don't know if that's lazy. Because like lazy is not making the designs.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably like too hard on the designs. I look at them, I stew on them for a day or two, and I'm like, nah, I'm not putting that on a t-shirt.
Fuck all that.
Yeah. So what else has been happening for you this week?
You know, I spent about a week in San Antonio, tattooed a few people out there. You know, unfortunately, wasn't like just all fun. I had to go to a funeral out there at the same time.
Yep.
But other than that, I've been, you know, watching the news, worrying about my buddies out in Houston. They're all starting to finally rebuild and everything like that. And you know, just trying to keep on top of the whole hurricane thing.
Crazy, huh? Because you got like 2 coming now, right?
Yeah, it's like the end of the fucking world over here, Sam.
Oh man, it's crazy what I see on the news from this side.
Dude, it's I mean, how do you
hurricanes everywhere and fucking people testing missiles and
it's fucking you can't have the storm of the century like every 3 months.
No,
like that doesn't make fucking sense.
No. It's crazy. We feel quite like, you know, tucked away over this side of the world with all the shit that goes on outside of that.
Seems kind of safe in Australia, honestly. Keep looking at it and I'm like, man.
Yeah. The scary shit is when you get here. It's not coming from the weather, so yeah, just everything wants to kill you. I just saw this video online of this lady riding a bike getting attacked by fucking magpies in Australia. Yeah, that's the shit you deal with, not fucking couple of 100-mile-an-hour winds. I mean, good luck to all those people out there. That's fucking hectic shit. Absolutely. So just to recap, I can't remember if I started recording before. You're in, where are you?
Mostly what we're doing is we're just trying to raise a little bit of money. You know, Jason's giving away a day tattoo session that they're raffling off there in Houston, and then I'm doing an auction for a painting as well. You guys, you know, any of the listeners who are interested in that, you can go to texasinkmagazine.com, or you can come see my Instagram, which is all listed, you know, and stuff like that. You know, just trying to help some people out, man. These people really, you know, unfortunately the news made it a little bit lighter on how hard the storm was going to hit, and a lot of people stayed at home that probably shouldn't have stayed at home.
Yep.
You know, so they're just dealing with that shit. Other than that, I'm just worried about Florida. They're going to fucking get wiped off the map. Apparently, this is the biggest hurricane.
Yeah, I saw that there. Everyone's pretty worried about it heading to there. So yeah, everyone out there, for David's Instagram and it's on your Facebook and all that, I guess, at D Hershman Tattoo and at D Hershman Art for all those to check out the auction to help some of those people. It's a good thing to do, man.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, so you got convention this weekend,
yeah,
right?
convention all this weekend. It's going to be a fun one. The caliber of artists at the show is they keep it, you know, pretty proper, and the judging is taken care of in a really, really good way. It's run by a local tattooer here, so you don't get a lot of the corporate bullshit brought into it or anything like that. Yeah, it's going to be good. You know, it's tattoo summer camp, going to tattoo conventions. It's just hanging out with my buddies and, you know,
absolutely
trying to not stay up too late, but it never happens that way.
Come on, you can't be too responsible. Remember the conventions when you first start. There's no responsibility.
Oh man. Well, when I first started getting into tattoo conventions, exactly. I was gonna say, when I first started doing conventions, it was like you had to stay into the lobby until 5 o'clock in the morning because that's where all the cool guys were talking.
Exactly, man. I've had people ask me, like, how do you meet people, and how do you, like, you know, get in with some of these crowds and stuff like that. Like, you just got to be there. And it's like, not be there while they're tattooing all day, trying to annoy the fuck out of them, get them to turn and have a look at you and, hey, in there. Wait till fucking later, find out where the fuck the party is and go talk to them then when they're having a beer and they can actually, like, chill the fuck out and chat. Then they'll remember you. And then if you get real fucked up, they'll really remember you.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was like, and then you got to get really fucked up with them.
Yeah, I can safely say I've been fucked up with a fair few pretty sick artists. Who can I safely say? I mean, most people have partied with Bob Tyrell.
Yeah.
Partied with Nico. Where else? Rojas and some of his team. Oh, Roman. Roman Abrego can party.
Yes. Well, he didn't party as much after that car wreck.
No, that's fair play. He could.
Yeah, and Nico got off of it too, because I saw Nico in New York, and we just went out for a little while, but it didn't get really crazy.
It was many moons ago, yeah.
Yeah, and like my favorite guy to actually party with, he's not even a tattooer, but he's one of the Sullen artists. Well, he's not even a Sullen artist. I shouldn't say that because he's bigger than Sullen itself. But Michael Hussar, that motherfucker can party.
Oh, bro, even his like still life sessions look like parties. It's dude, just like, they sit around for 6 hours, get fucked up, and then he's like, "All right, freeze."
We went out and we started drinking because there was a bar across the street, and we just went out and ran out in between the little painting seminar, and we had a drink, and then after the seminar was all over, we ended up having a good night out in the town, and we walked back up to the hotel probably maybe like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we see a girl in a wedding dress running across the street with her man. And then Steve Soto's right by the bar, or right by the door, smoking a cigarette. We walk out there, and Steve comes up to Michael. He's like, "Oh, you know, how's it going, man? Yada, yada, yada." And Michael starts talking to that girl in the dress. And she's like, "Oh, well, it's my birthday. I wanted to wear my wedding dress again." And so we go up and start partying with her. And then we didn't leave her hotel room till like 8 o'clock in the morning.
That's awesome.
We vandalized some artwork in the hotel. All that good shit. But you gotta have a good time.
Booth. Me and Paul Booth sat in front of a fucking 40 people and taken painting off the wall and flipped it around and drawn some crazy as fuck up on there and just put it back up there. One of my friends told me, he's like, if you got the balls to do that, you got to put your name and number on there. So that's become the thing there. You got to sign that shit, put a phone number in case they ever want to let you know about it.
Yeah, right. Well,
I've never had a phone call.
Well, you might have made that painting worth a lot more money than it already was.
Yeah, well,
if it was you and Paul, you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, well, I had Paul's name on there too. So, man, the crazy thing is, this is like part of our penthouse party shit, where we go and fucking get the penthouse for the weekend at the Tattoo Expo or whatever. When we do Melbourne's, it doesn't cost us as much to do local ones, so ball out.
Right.
Exactly. And then you can host it, have everyone there, and then you get to meet and greet and do all that sort of shit. So we used to do that quite often, and we even got the penthouse again like a year later, or maybe it was even 2 years later. And we got the exact same one, and we're like checking the fucking paintings, we're pulling them all off the walls, and they changed that shit. So
yeah,
maybe they did sell it.
Do that.
Best freeze frame ever. I got you.
Just all chucked out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to remember the room numbers when you do that shit, though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh man, it's hard enough remembering them for the weekend when you fucked up. I'm actually.
I can't keep a hold of a key card.
No, exactly. I also still not like till Sydney, so
the person. No, not.
Yeah, well, the next one is Perth, but I'm not doing that one, so I'm not sure when that is. It's like in the next couple of months, I think. But no, I'll be doing Sydney with the Metrics booth, so that's what I'm looking forward to. It'll be our first sponsored team Metrics booth up in Sydney, so be keen as to rep that, and it's going to be a bit of fun getting up, seeing some of my boys there. I'll take a few extra days and go see some people. It's always a bit of fun.
Yeah, now I'm just planning for the Brighton show.
Yeah, man, that's gonna be sick. I really like to get back to England and Europe soon. Go tattoo again. There's a whole different tattoo scene out there. It's good.
Yeah, I don't know how much we got out of all of that conversation.
That's so good. I'm getting better at editing.
Yes, you are. The fucking videos are looking good. That last one with Benny, man, I've gotten a lot of compliments on it. And it's funny. Jason's kids, they're our youngest fans.
Yeah.
Jason's kids watch our fucking podcast.
That's awesome. Even my sister's like oldest girl. She's only 8, Willow, and she's like, "What Sam does? He does podcasting. He has a podcast channel." She's like, "That's what I've wanted to do my whole life." She's
like my whole 8 years.
I know, right? And then my mom's like, "Oh, I really wanted to show her," and she's like, "The first thing I did and opened it up, it was like you smoking a bong." And she's like, "Well, Uncle Sam's smoking still." She's like, "She's smoking cigarettes." So I was like, "Yeah, well, fuck, don't show her any more of that shit."
That's good shit.
She hates me for smoking cigarettes. I was like, "Don't you dare tell her what that is."
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's pretty funny.
So one day we'll do a kids-friendly one. Well, I will.
Yeah. We'll try. We'll try real hard. I mean, I already realized that like all the videos are demonetized because we curse too much.
Really, straight away?
Well, just the people who actually run the ads on YouTube, they have specific, guidelines, and most of them they don't want you cursing. That's why we've just got to seek out our own sponsorships and stuff like that for the podcast.
That means less gay ads on our video.
Super happy about that shit.
Exactly.
Super happy about yeah.
Fuck
you guys can go fuck yeah exactly. Oh man. Yeah. I'm just nervous about going to fucking London because it's gonna be fucking middle of winter, man. The beginning of February.
Yeah, they know how to do it cold over there, and
dude,
just dark and drizzly. But I don't like it.
I don't mind that part at all because with the dreariness and shit like that, I'm just not used to that kind of cold weather. And my buddy Chris, who I go out there and paint with, he's like, "Bring some cold weather fucking gear, man." I was like, "You don't know what you're coming into." He's like, "You need a heavy coat and pants. Don't bring any shorts with you." He's like, "Nothing stupid like that."
No, man,
rubber-soled shoes.
Yeah, go all out. I'd be wearing like long johns, like fucking, pants underneath your jeans, and like big fat socks, and sometimes 2 pairs of socks, jumper and jacket. Man, when I moved to England when I was 18, so like the first trip I ever did was from summer in Australia, and it was like 35, so 100 degrees. And then my first stop off was Vienna, and it was minus 15 degrees. And that's Celsius. I can't do the minus ones in Fahrenheit, but it was fucking cold, man. And I put like 4 layers on, and that shit still went through my bones. I was like, but it won't be quite like that. But yeah, no, man, it'll be a good change, I reckon.
It'll be a good change. It's gonna give me an excuse to drink a lot of bitters because I fucking like English beer.
That too.
And so yeah,
Guinness.
you know what I mean.
Get some real Guinness.
Yeah, it's different. I wish I wasn't one of those dudes who's like, oh, it's different over there, but it is. It actually tastes totally fucking better.
I barely drink it in Australia here. Like we get it on tap very rarely, and I've been told it's still not made in England. The stuff that we get, so I rock the and I just go for dark ales over here. But yeah, man, every time I'm back over Europe, where especially even Ireland, it tastes better again there because it's so close to where it's made, man. Fucking
yeah,
like cream.
Well, and then we're gonna get up to Scotland this trip and go see David Corden and all those dudes.
Yeah, that'll be
Chase
cool.
is real good friends with him. Yeah.
You haven't been to Scotland?
I just want to see that part of. No, I just want to see that part of the country because I'm told that it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, exactly. As far as like picturesque, like mountain, all the like high country, and even just like Edinburgh's like all hills and castles, and man, yeah, it's cool as shit. It's full like you imagine, like fairy tale, fucking green shit everywhere. Same as Ireland. Like when you get outside of the cities, it's beautiful.
Well, like Killarney was crazy because I was like, I've never seen green like this.
Huh? Yeah, exactly right.
Yeah, I was like, obviously we don't have grass where I come from because it doesn't look like this.
No, this shit's like fake, man. It's like so green. It's
deep, and it's like, and they don't do anything. They're like, oh no, it just fucking grows that way.
Exactly. Grass grows on trees. It's that fucking like, it's that wet and perfect.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Well, it makes perfect sense, like why fairy tales come from that part of the world and why we have those fairy tales and all those Celtic tales, because it looks like it's magical. You're just like, oh yeah, totally, I get it, leprechauns and shit. It makes sense now.
Yep. There's one down there. Fuck it.
Yeah, I was like, or he's a drunk midget, but either way, that's what I think he is a leprechaun.
Bad.
But, other than that, I'm trying to get everything planned out. I want to come out to Australia and not, I don't know. I don't want to plan too much out. I figure you guys will take care of me on that shit. With London, I'm trying to figure out where I want to work in the city because I stay in Islington in North London.
Yeah.
And I don't mind, catching the tube down to Soho and shit like that, but I just want to make sure that I've got, something set up to where it's going to be a little bit more convenient.
Yeah.
Leaving all my gear somewhere, being that far away from all my gear, other than like my machines, my power supply, I'll take home with me and shit.
Exactly, man. Well, maybe I'll have a look through some of my fucking contacts and see who can hook you up with. I mean, like Camille, I'm not sure where Camille's new shop is, but he'd be definitely happy to have you and another few other dudes in London there. Man.
Yeah, I'm super down. I'm open. I didn't meet that many tattoo artists there. I was told, I got the weird feeling that like
I didn't either.
There's a weird community.
I was literally just about to say that. It's a different type of tattoo scene over there. Like it's very like close knit in certain circles. I think from what I met a couple of shops and they're obviously very close. Like London's just like that. Like the way it's set out, it's this massive it's this massive city, but there's all pockets of everything you need and everything. No one, you don't really need to always leave your pocket sort of thing. So like all the locals drink in the one pub and they all know each other for a lifetime, right. Like that. And I think like shop and all that sort of stuff translates to that as well. It's like very, little community based because there's so many fucking people in one spot. They kind of, maybe it's easier to stay like that. But also I didn't tattoo when I lived over there. I got tattooed in a few different shops and I've only been back there once to tattoo once, and that was with Camille. So it's not really a world I'm aware of, but I got mates that go over there, and I always hear of the same certain shops that people go.
Mm-hmm.
I guess spot there.
Well, and I will say, like, they were very, very hospitable to like me being a foreign artist, and everybody was super cool with that. But it just seemed like within the community and the people that they know, they're kind of like, oh, well, we kind of stick to ourselves, and we do this over here, and they do that over there. It is a lot more tattoo friendly,
as I thought over there.
It's not as big.
Nah, there's nowhere near as many tattooists as I thought. Like compared to like major cities, Melbourne, Sydney, and like going Dallas and like Denver and all this. Like there's a massive
amounts of people.
Yeah, There's not like there's a lot of little street shops that I remember from just like 10, 15 years ago when I went, but the actual like artist community that side I don't remember being that big. And there, there's definitely standouts in London and the UK that like stand out above the rest. So
For sure.
I don't know if that is still a quantity thing, just not many.
Well, I wonder if that's the way it's like if it's a calculated thing with the way that they treat each other in the community, and then it's kind of kept the community that way to where you don't have that intermingling of ideas like we do over here, where everybody's kind of free sharing and everybody tries to make everybody better. So there you have standouts who will stand out because there's not a lot of camaraderie in their community.
Yeah, exactly.
Theory though.
Yeah,
Theory,
exactly.
I have no idea.
Everything is a theory, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, speaking of that. So I had never watched these movie. It's called Kingsman, and the new one's coming out, and I guess I wanted to get caught up on it and whatnot.
Is that a Secret Service one?
Yeah.
That shit was
wicked sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, wicked sick. But the whole dude, the villain in the movie is talking about the Gaia theory that the Earth is sick and it's getting a fever. And that's why global warming is happening, and we're the virus that he's like, think about it like this. When you get the flu, what does your body do? Your body raises its temperature to kill the virus.
Yeah.
He's like, that's exactly what the Earth is doing. Well, I started looking into Gaia theory, and there's a ton of fucking people who are all over this shit.
Yeah, there's like a whole site, We Are Gaia. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah. It was along the same lines as like, because I've been looking more and more into Göbekli Tepe and seeing how the fucking Turkish government are being dicks and they don't want to do any more excavating because it kind of flips archaeology on its head and shit like that. And then I was like, man, that guy said something pretty interesting. And I started looking this up and I thought maybe there'd be a correlation. And it's like, no, it's fucking off the wall. The Earth, the Earth might be alive and shit like that. And it might be trying to shrug us off like a bad cold, but
it's definitely an organism.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, maybe not to the level of like Pandora from that movie Avatar. Maybe
No, not. It's not a sentient organism. It's. But I mean, it does what it needs. It's got to survive. Right. Heating, cooling, all that bullshit. I seen some crazy movie coming out with all that. Some like weather controlled tornado and fucking. Did you see that bullshit? I can't remember what it's called.
No.
Also, It came out yesterday, right?
Yeah. You know what? When I first saw the sample art for the Pennywise, I was kind of like, man, that looks like a fucking schoolgirl wearing a clown mask. And then I started looking into it a little bit more. I was like, okay, this is gonna be fucking good. I
did the exact same thing, man. Like when it was just a single picture, it didn't have much oomph to it. It was just like, a little bit updated, kind of cutesy. And then when the few-minute trailers came out, and then I saw the extended trailer where I saw him talk, and I was like, all right, it's pretty creepy. But then we're going through just remakeville of everything at the moment, so no one can be precious about their shit.
It's crazy. It's like we're going back into the 90s. Like everything's getting like it's early 80s, early 90s. Everything's getting fucking remade. I mean, for me, like I've got a soft spot for Tim Curry, so like when I see like the new Rocky Horror Picture Show being made and shit like that, and I'm like, oh man, are you guys gonna really fucking be able to do this right? But it looks good.
Like he's not even dead. He's still making movies.
Right. I mean, don't get me wrong. He's made some bad movies, but you can't just like start remaking his shit.
Exactly. We should find out how he feels about this shit.
I don't know. He's probably rich and happy and doesn't give a shit.
He's probably getting endorsements from it anyway.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's coming out. There's a lot of good movies. You know what another remake that they made is that Flatliners. I don't know if you saw the previews for it. It's the college kids killing themselves.
Yeah. I used to like that the original one. It's this
with what's his name?
Thing now, we did the 80s last, the 2010s. Now it's the 90s remake. Everyone.
But me.
Yeah, go.
Yeah, well, like me and you, we don't really remember the 80s because we were a little too young. That's when we were born.
Yeah, exactly.
But I remember the 90s, and so like now I get to be super fucking critical of everything because I'm like, no, that doesn't fucking work, or it's gonna be awesome. One of the two.
No, I grew up through that shit. You're wrong.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, that's not exactly the way we looked. You know, we didn't have the. We did. There was some. I pulled out some old pictures, and I was like, I looked at some of like the old clothes that I fucking wore when I was a little kid, and I was like, God damn, the '90s were kind of cool.
Yeah, they
I was
were.
like,
Hypercolors.
like, yeah, bright. Dude, I had a matching set of pink tie dye shorts and a shirt, and I'm just like rocking that shit out with like a mullet. And I was like, God damn, I didn't know I was right trash. I guess I'm white trash and didn't even know it.
Fully like shaved head with like I had tracks in my hair, they shave those lines in your hair. Man, I was
Oh,
picture of me
oh,
with
oh.
like a tooth missing and like hypercolor fucking shit all over, man. It was hilarious. And not just that, I got all the hand-me-downs because I'm like the youngest of all my cousins and my sister and all sort of shit. And my
Yeah.
I reckon I wouldn't wear it unless it'd been worn by like 2 or 3 cousins. So just to buy me shit and tell me it was a hand-me-down.
Oh, that's good shit. Yeah, there's because like what right now we're right in the middle of all the scary movies are gonna start coming out because we got Halloween coming up.
Is that what
So
they
I
do?
think that Flatliners, It, and I haven't seen any other really interesting horror movies.
Annabelle
There's
2
some
just
other.
came out. I've heard mixed reviews on that.
Hmm. I think what did I go see? I went and saw something recently. I can't remember what the fuck it was because it must have not. Oh no, actually it was that Ryan Reynolds comedy with Samuel L. Jackson, the Hitman's Bodyguard. It was actually pretty good. It's Ryan Reynolds is playing like the straight man, and Samuel Jackson is the crazy motherfucker in it, and it's kind of funny to see him in that role since I loved him so much in Deadpool.
I
For
was gonna
him to be
say
kind of like,
Deadpool and Van Wilder is about all I can handle him in. Isn't
okay,
Deadpool 2
anyway,
coming
then
out pretty soon?
yeah, it is. I'm fucking. Is it? Does it come out this year or 2018?
I never look at that shit. I like get annoyed every time I get really excited about a movie and I go look at when it's coming out. It's like a year away, and I'm like, "Fuck you."
And then like I can't keep my excitement for that long, so I'm
Nah,
not
I
going
mean,
to pay
yeah.
attention.
I was like that with the fucking Mayweather McGregor fight. It took way too fucking long to
Uh,
get there, and then we got there, and I was like, I was fucking drunk by the time I watched it anyway. Yeah.
yeah, I watched it. Actually, I was one of the what was it, 20 million illegal downloads or illegal streams. I watched it on Instagram Live. A buddy of mine just set his fucking phone up in front of the TV because I was sitting at I had already ordered the fight and
Yeah.
like I bought the fight and like my parents are at my fucking house watching the fight and like I've got all these people over there, but I got stuck and I was doing this tattoo and I was tattooing this parrot on this dude's arm and it's just taking a really long time. It's just, a lot longer than I thought it was going to take. So he's just sitting there with his phone
Just
on
in front
Instagram
of you
Live.
watching while you're
Yeah,
trying
just so I could keep up with it a little bit here and there. And, I was really surprised. I think Connor did really, really well.
I think so. I didn't. I
You,
wasn't sure whether it go those full. What, it went 9 rounds or whatever it went, and
yeah, he made it to 10 rounds. Yeah.
10 was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he did pretty well. I would have liked to have seen someone go down, but it is what it is. It's boxing. I think everyone's so used to UFC now, just like ground and pound, and just like, yeah.
It's much less exciting, right? It was much less exciting. But what was interesting is for an amateur boxer, like I know, Mayweather was playing with him in the beginning, but he
Yeah,
he landed 111 punches on Mayweather, which is more than anybody else has ever done.
not bad, eh?
And yeah, not bad. And the other thing is I think his conditioning wasn't there. He was gassed out probably by the fifth or sixth round or whatever the fuck it was. But it was a good performance. I really
It
just
seemed like
wanted him to fucking throw.
yeah, he had a plan, and he was just trying to smash him those first few rounds, and
Yeah,
just
yeah,
didn't go how he wanted it. Huh? Gassed him, but no, it was good
yeah.
fun. We had also like the whole thing we were excited. Well, I was excited about was just fucking getting together with all the boys, and that much excitement comes around for something, and even people that don't give a fuck about it will still come and watch. So
Yeah, because I'm not like a big boxing fan. I'm like a UFC fan. I like
yeah,
all of that
same.
shit. But it's so like I just had to like figure out how they were doing the rules. And it was I really wanted Connor to just get pissed off and throw a head kick and just try to fucking kick this dude in the head, right?
There was
But
so many bets
it
on
would have
that shit.
$20 million is what it would have cost him
Yeah, exactly right. Yeah,
for a point deduction. So like I was like, oh duh, that's why he's not doing that.
yeah, exactly. Man,
I was
it
just,
nearly would have been worth it.
I was like, just sneak a fucking elbow in there and just fucking pow, just knock that motherfucker out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's done with. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. It was just one of those things that took way too fucking long, and I was
Yeah.
over it by the time it started.
And it was a letdown, right? Like after it was all over, you're kind of like, oh, well, I guess that was exciting, but now it's over and I don't really fucking care anymore now. Because it
Yep.
was galvanizing the entire world. Like
Yeah.
everybody in the fucking world was all over the shit. And then it happened and everybody was kind of like, okay.
What do we do now?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good though. I mean, I just think Connor's just the greatest, a really good shit talker, you know. So he can get everybody excited about this. I wonder what he's gonna do now. I mean, fuck it. If I made $120 million, I'd just retire. I'd be like, okay, I'm done now.
He's basically been a promoter for the last 2 years. So
Yeah,
if he could not fight and just continue to do that, then they'll give him entertainment contracts and all kinds of shit.
yeah. He'd start representing fighters for the UFC and shit like that. I'm sure.
I wouldn't be surprised if he buys half the UFC.
I would buy half. I don't know. Dana probably is. It's probably worth a shitload of money, but
It
Dana
would
might
be
do
now.
it.
But that's what I mean about he's done half of this promotion in the last few years to build it up. I mean, it's been sold now in the last couple of years. It's obviously been sold for a lot of money, and now it's worth a lot more. So,
Yeah.
that's what they needed. That's what Rousey and him did for the sport, which is, I don't know. It was a good tactic. They definitely got it out there.
Yeah, and the platform itself is just exciting. It's an exciting, it reminds you of, how a fight really looks and shit like that. Look at Jason.
What up, Jason?
He said hi back.
Oh, have a good day.
He said, have a lovely day.
Funny. What was I going to say? I had some. It's gone. I'm pretty high.
Yeah. Yeah, we do. We won't cut you out. We'll leave you in there.
Definitely.
Fucking asshole.
It's the closest thing you'll get to an asshole all day anyway.
Yeah, well, he's like, I got to show you my down under.
Yeah, I heard that in the background.
What a cock. Yeah. No, your ass is going to end up on the internet now.
It's not just that. It's going to end up a promo video.
That's gonna be the fucking still for the screenshot
The episode, yeah.
Oh man,
I've got a title for it now. Well, man, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. What it's brought out now in that sport, and it's literally we can go on from that. It's only just that Snoopcast, man, that shit is hilarious. That now that there's that platform that can breed other platforms for people like Snoop Dogg to do their own podcast on UFC fighting.
Yeah. I mean, there's that commentator thing where as long as you're using it for comments, and you can't broadcast it, but you can have the audio in the background and you can talk about it. Like there's Joe Rogan does the fight podcast thing for UFC fights and stuff like that as well. There was something I was gonna bring it up. I can't find my fucking notes, but it doesn't matter. Let me see.
I'm straight winging it tonight. I got nothing around me but Mary Jane.
Mary Jane. Man, I was the jazzy funk music from the last or the one before last.
Oh yeah.
When you did it in the studio.
Oh yeah, that's fucking Lionel Richie, isn't it? Is it Lionel? Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one.
There's the torch.
Probably should assemble something to smoke before I do this. Get a red hot.
So we got a little bit of light at the end of the tunnel here in Texas. They just issued their first medical marijuana license here in Texas.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
that's
hopefully
a good sign. I've not heard anything on our front for a while in that department. I hope they're still going forward with all kinds of good shit. Like Victoria, our state, was heading towards oil use and stuff like that, and a heap of other states jumped in on it. But it's all very slow in this country.
Yeah, you were saying something about it last time. Like it's kind of like a nanny state. Everybody's like kind of
exactly right.
tiptoeing around every single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They'll do so many tests and experiments and all kinds of bullshit. Yeah, well, they might get there.
Oh, that's a nice little rig. I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh, yeah, man. I got that at the expo.
Yeah, nice little heavy piece. Oh, is that the one? Ah, it just looks totally different now that it's taking on some color.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on.
Delicious.
Yeah.
So one more day of work for me, and then I got a couple of days off this week.
Right on.
All podcasts can be more this week. More.
Yeah.
I got some animated logo design coming for the start of it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I got a few more.
I wish I was smart enough to even know how to start approaching to do something like that. I see all these badass logo things at the beginning of videos. It's like, how do you do that?
Yeah, I don't know how to do it. Outsource everything. That's the key.
Inside this that case right there, Jason's setting up for his tattoo right now, and he forgot everything.
Of course, I can see that's a Jason. That's something Jason would do, right?
he's got his two oldest boys with him, and they've got all kinds of extra shit, and they brought the PlayStation 4. We were jamming out on Injustice 2 yesterday, and I was like, I don't ever fucking play video games, but I actually had a really good time playing video games with these kids for a little while, man. It was a blast.
When you're with other people that really enjoy it and you can just like jump in and have a go, then it's awesome fun. So it's just sitting at home by yourself, committing to, all right, I'm putting this on, I'm doing this. I can't do that either.
It's like doing hard drugs. It's like, because I feel guilty. It's like if I just sit at home and waste a day playing fucking video games, I feel like I was out partying all night and just wasting my money or something.
Yeah, I get that same feeling. I get told by people I need to do it though, just to unwind, stop doing something. But I don't. I do something every fucking day.
Yeah, I'm manic, man. I can't sit there like, because I'll be like, man, I had all the shit I could have done and I didn't do it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, I just sat here. So what's going on with old Benjamin? He's a busy guy. I see him cranking out shit all the time. Yeah. So no hard feelings, no nothing like that.
No. Just timing, I guess. Timing difference, and yeah, man. I don't know. He's got so much workload here. I guess because he was living here and now like traveling and pretty much just living around Europe and living in Greece and stuff like that. He's got so much work to finish here. So he's not just smashing out a full day's tattoo and then bringing someone in to finish off shit. So yeah, man, he's a dedicated motherfucker. I'll give him that. So
he's a well-dressed man as well. I saw a little picture of him. I was like, all right, you got some style, motherfucker. I see
you can do something with that cash.
right.
Can't be all work, no play, right? Yeah, he's got some taste though. Fuck, some of his watches.
Oh man, his fucking them fucking handmade Italian boots he's got on. I was like, all right, well done.
Bling and pimp that boy. We went from a grapher to that. I used to see him in the oversized dickies hanging down past near his ankles and the big tube socks. So it's good to see him. Yeah. It's good to see him up close.
Look at us now. Yeah, but you know what? I got to be honest. You know, that's the goal. Going from a dirty punk rock kid to where if I can, have a Moldova or a couple of nice other things, I'm gonna fucking do that. Why not?
I wouldn't say no to that shit. Oh. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with moving up.
Yeah, because he did a little commercial for a watch company, didn't he?
Oh, did he? I didn't say that. If he did,
I could have sworn he had like a
just like an online one or like a proper one.
No, I think it's just like an online thing.
Yeah,
it was
cool.
Just him talking about his watch and shit like that. And I was like,
awesome.
Classy motherfucker. We'll talk to him about that. We'll give you guys a little teaser. We'll talk to him about that.
Absolutely.
But
yeah, man. So who do you reckon you got your side for the next one?
I'm gonna think I'm going back to Denver, so I'm gonna see if I can't get Jesse in on it.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
See if he wants to just sit, chat, smoke.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Jesse Levitt, he would be good fun to talk to.
Yeah, he's got some interesting ideas. He goes down those really, really weird, esoteric, scientific, spiritual journey kind of areas like us,
We had plenty of good car park conversations and all that shit, didn't we? That was
Yeah, absolutely. So I think it'd be nice to rouse up a little bit of that, and I think it'd be cool to hear you guys talk a little bit about differences in approach of technique, and because you guys create similar imagery, definitely different subject matter, but similar imagery in a lot of ways. You guys are both, two of what, at least in my opinion, some of the better black and gray bio guys out there right now. So
and
I think
similar
it'd be interesting to
application
see.
too. It was cool being able to like watch each other tattoo and kind of different outcomes and like I said, very different subject matter and all that kind of shit. But doing some of the same things and then seeing different things that each other do. So yeah, man,
Yeah.
he's very, very good tattooist. Yeah, well, I've got Tim Davari at this side that's like chewing at the bit. He was my apprentice, the one that's commenting on all their YouTube videos. So,
Yeah, fuck it. I mean,
yeah,
we definitely have Tim on.
he's got a week off
you know,
this week, so if we don't get Ben, I mean Tim will come in.
Definitely. I mean, I really enjoyed talking to Benny, so that was really good, and I've gotten a lot of feedback on that.
Yeah, he
Because
really
we were
enjoyed
able
it
to,
too.
yeah, we were able to kind of get off and be, talk about bullshit and then bring it back to business. And his insight on the way he runs the shop and his philosophy behind it, him talking about it, just reflects even stronger on the image that's already presented, on social media and the presence there. It kind of solidified it because for me, I'm like, man, all of this stuff is very calculated and it's really well done. And then you talk to the man behind the ideas, and even, he's still trying to push forward even harder, even though he's already got this great established business and he still has these ideas. And I think it's refreshing to see somebody who's got a really good shop, but they still can see a way to make it better and better.
Yeah, it's still very much the start of the journey for him. He's like talking about, someone that never stops and like, these people that can't, just set aside a day to play games. He's the same, it's always what's next, what's going to build what I'm doing or what the shop's going to be. And yeah, it's a cool place to work because of that. Evolving.
How many artists do you guys have over at Oculus?
Fuck, like 13, 14. That
Baller.
sort of rotates a bit, so it would be like 8 to 10 most times. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's
And
pretty much at capacity now.
yeah, that's. I mean, that's a large group of guys. It's a lot of cats to try to herd because that's what it's like dealing with tattoo artists. But
Yeah, and for someone,
it seems.
he's only 25.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Kudos to you, sir. Kudos
Exactly
to you.
right.
You got shit way more together than I did at 25. Holy fuck.
So, at 25, yeah, I pretty much met Benny and he came and lived with me. And then that was a green light for me to fucking relax and get drunk for a few years. And then he got his shit sorted real quick.
Yeah. Yeah. I was out doing hard drugs still and being an asshole.
Yeah, same. I taught him some of that. It's what we do in this world, we corrupt each other a little bit.
Right.
That's what friends
do. Yeah, brother. I gotta cut it short, man. I gotta take off here in just a second.
No, that's all good. That's the
sorry.
responsibilities we have. David has to go to work. He's doing the morning shift. Yeah. I got the late night. That's why I'm high as fuck. And then that's how it goes. You got to go make those dollars. We do this shit for free.
Yeah, I gotta make those ends so I can buy more equipment for the podcast. I opened up my case and showed Jason all the shit, and he goes, "Holy shit, how much is that?" I was like,
Yeah, don't worry.
We just keep. It's like at least it wasn't all one purchase because we keep buying little things here and there, but still, like I started calculating. I was like, man, I got a lot of fucking expensive equipment with me.
That's it. We do this for the love, but it does cost money. So, I mean, that's the next thing that's going to go out too is like sponsorship packages. So anyone out there that wants to sponsor the show, go nuts. We do this shit for free, but we're happy to take on whatever you got. You want us to review some cool cup product? If you want to support the show, we'll put your banners up.
Yep. So, absolutely. And, one of the things that I think is important is that, like, we want to work with people who want to get in on this, and it's a good way to get in on the ground floor. Hopefully with us keep pushing this platform more and more forward, it's going to become, more popular. And I don't want to be exclusionary, but it's going to get to the point, hopefully, if we do well enough that, we're going to have to pick and choose sponsors. But right now, it's free reign.
Exactly. Keep it going. Let's keep this going. It's fun. I enjoy it.
Well, hell yeah. Well, Sammy, I appreciate everything, man, and I will talk to you in a few days. If you want to do another one here in the next few days, since you got some time off, let me know, and we'll get it all scheduled up.
Absolutely, man. Peace out, my friend.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you later.
Have fun.